Hey, what's up, power traders? In this video, I'm going to break down paper trading. Like, what is it? What does it mean? Why should you do it? When should you do it? How long should you do it for? I'm answering all those questions and breaking it all down right now. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm stock market coach and option trader Jason Brown. And one of the questions that we get often is, what is paper trading? Like, what does that mean? Because some people call money paper. So it's like paper trading. What does that mean? Using real money? And why do they call it paper? Because money is paper, right? It's not what you think. Paper trading, or another term for it, is called virtual trading. So all this simply means is you're going to take a simulated or fake, or another term for it is practice account. And it's kind of like an airline pilot, right? They're not going to sit you inside of a Boeing 737 and just say, go for it. I hope you know what you're doing. They're going to put you in a simulator and say, push that button, see what happens. When that light blinks, what does that mean, right? And you're going to be in a safe or controlled environment so that you can get the real life experience without any of the real life consequences if something goes wrong and you don't know what you're doing. So let's bring it back to the stock market. What does that mean with respect to paper trading? What this will allow you to do is create an account and get the feel for buying a stock, selling the stock, picking a stock, reading stock charts, all the things that you need to do to be a successful investor, but without actually putting any real money down. So why should you paper trade? Well, the whole picture is so that you can get, number one, acclimated with the platform, but more important than that is that so you can start to test your thesis and see if you are right. So number one, you want to test the platform. You don't want to buy when you're supposed to be selling and selling when you're supposed to buy, all because you hit the wrong buttons. And you definitely don't want to find out that once you got real money at work. Now, speaking of real money, you want to, again, practice with play money or fake money, because what if you come in and say, I'm going to trade call options and put options, but you really don't know how options work. And so you come in with real money and you buy a call option when you meant to buy a put, you buy a put when you meant to buy a call. You don't know what a strike price is. You don't know what expiration is. Oh, by the way, you didn't even realize options expire the third Friday of every month, or you didn't realize that there are certain options that expire weekly. There's just so much going on. And you want to test your knowledge of what you think you know in a practice environment before you actually put that money into a real environment. I've seen it so many times where people have emailed me and said, I hit the wrong button. I thought I was buying when I was selling. I just bought an option. My account says it's negative. What does that mean? Or I'm sure we all remember the story of the Robinhood trader who unfortunately committed suicide because he thought he owed more money than he really did, because he didn't understand how options work. And he didn't understand that he was going to get his option exercised and he really didn't owe the amount of money he thought he owed, which was a very sad story. My heart goes out to that family. So you want to practice, you want to make sure you understand what you're doing. So what are some of my theses and my theories that I teach our students at Power Trades University? Well, number one, I teach them that they want to practice to make sure they understand the platform. But number two, they want to practice to understand that their theory is right. And what that simply means for us is you want to be one of two things when you're practicing to make sure your theory is right. You want to make sure that you're net profitable. So let me break that down. If you place 10 trades and you lose $100 on 8 trades, that means you lost $800. But trade number 9 and number 10, you make $1,000 each. So if you made $2,000 but you lost $800, you are net profitable by $1,200. Does that make sense? So we teach our students to be net profitable, or the number two thing we teach our students to do is they want to have a 7 out of 10 win ratio. And so if you place 10 trades, you want to be right 7 out of 10 times, right? No one's going to be right 100% of the time, but if you can focus on being right majority of the time and focus on being net profitable, you're going to have a very profitable bank account and a very profitable life as a trader and as an investor. The reason we break down those percentages and numbers like that is because when you lose 7 out of 10 times, there's nothing wrong with that. But we want to know, have you also mastered the art of taking small losses and then making sure when you're right, you're being right, by big margins. And so that's the psychology behind why we teach you want to be right 7 out of 10 times, or net profitable. If you're wrong 7 times, making sure you're cutting your loss, minimizing your risk, and you're staying in the game and not blowing up your account to live the trade another day until you find those profitable trades. So those are some thought processes around why you should paper trade and how long you should paper trade. You should paper trade until you're net profitable or until you're right 7 out of 10 times. And that'll give you a good basis for when you start to trade with real money, that you feel confident about your strategy, you feel confident about the platform that you're using, you know which buttons to hit to get in and out of trades, you know what happens at expiration because you've experienced this all in a simulated environment. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you paper traded or practice traded before? And then if you've paper traded before, what'd you like about it and what'd you not like about it? I know sometimes people, when they paper trade, they don't do it the right way. And what I mean by that is most people don't simulate their real account. Like these paper trading accounts will give you $1 million. Well, you don't have $1 million. So this will be my final tip. You want to set up your account with the amount of money that you would start with in real life so that you can make decisions similar to what you would make with your real account. So if you only have 5,000, you should treat your paper trading account as if you only have 5,000. That way it's going to force you to make decisions between which stocks you can pick versus saying, I have $1 million account, I'll buy some of everything. But that's not really how you would act if you had real money and you're really trying to simulate the real environment so you can find out what type of trader you are, what type of stocks and options you would have picked, and what you would really do in those scenarios. So I want to take a question from our previous video by Omegas. Omega said, would selling an option contract on dividend plays be a decent plan? Omegas, thanks for your question. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by selling an option on dividend plays be a decent plan, but I'll try to make some sense of it. If I own a stock and I own at least 100 shares, I can sell options against it. And so I can sell an out of the money option to collect what I like to call rental income. And hopefully that option expires worthless to the person who bought it, but expires as 100% profit to me. And that allows me to keep the stock, keep that rental income that I brought in from selling the option. And if that company pays a dividend, I'll get paid again by the company paying a dividend. So I'm not quite sure if that's what you meant, but that's how I would play it. If I were trying to own a stock that paid dividend, yet I wanted the rush and additional profit of selling options. So I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, you and all the rest of the viewers, feel free to leave a comment below so you can possibly be featured on the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Brown and I'm signing off saying, you never go broke taking a profit. Ooh, my fingers was just on the end button.